Welcome back. Welcome back. We are so glad to have you back with us. This is the Parenting911 Lived Experience podcast. And we talk about life, real life. Come on now. I am Frizzell Malin, and I'm just checking in with parents, grandparents, guardians, foster parents, step parents, doesn't matter, whomever is in a position to help train up our children in the way they should go, yeah, this podcast is definitely for you. So today we're going to talk about emotions. Emotions, and trust me, they're everywhere and we all have them. That's one thing we can't get away from. We have them, our children have them as well. And the thing about emotions is we have them, but do we know what to do with them? We have them, and we all have them. But do we know how to manage them? How to not allow the emotions to manage us? But how to manage the emotions. And then think about it. If we, the adults, the parents, the grandparents, if we don't know how to manage our emotions, how then will our children learn how to manage theirs? Come on now, we have to learn how to manage us so that we can teach them how to manage them. Because they're watching us, they're duplicating what we do, they're watching everything, they're listening to everything, they're putting two and two together, and then they're using it just like we did. So we have to learn how to manage us, manage our emotions so that we can help them learn how to manage theirs. I'm going to use a PowerPoint that's just going to help us talk through some of this. Guess what? It's called emotions because, yeah, emotions have gotten more and more maybe out of control because we don't talk about how to manage them. We just talk about the fact that we have them. So today we're going to talk more about managing our emotions. Emotional intelligence and intelligence itself is just about learning how, learning more about something. Emotional intelligence is kind of where we're going to sit for a while and just kind of talk about it. Be still and think about it and learn more about it. So it says that anxiety and depression have become a new public health threat. Think about that now. A new public health threat for Americans. Now, it could well be for others across the world, but definitely for Americans of all ages. So it doesn't matter if you're a grandmother or a young mother, a new mother, or a single parent, or a married parent going through a divorce. No, all of us have emotions. Everybody, all of us. So we do have to understand that children have emotions too. And I know that in past generations, we would, act like the children really didn't have anything going on, but children have emotions too. And so we have to make sure that we consider that in all that we do, that we consider that part. It says, even though it has become a new public health threat, we have the tools to resolve this crisis through better engagement, through better quality care, through a better focus on people, children included, and recovery. And that's from the Pew Charitable Trust. Now, one thing you need to understand, emotions stem from a root and they provoke a response. Now think about this too. They are involuntary, meaning you don't really know when they're going to come. They're like the wind, they come and go. They're involuntary. Um, think about the emotions that we have. Sometimes the day is going along just perfect. I mean, a good day. Things are going along well. Everything is going the way we want it to. We're happy. And then all of a sudden, or out of nowhere, the entire mood changes, completely changes. Emotions are triggered by something. They have a root, and that root can be triggered. And when they are triggered, then a response follows. It provokes you to say something, to do something. It provokes a thought. And with that thought usually comes a reaction, a response. And it can be harsh and negative and hurtful if we don't learn how to manage it. If we don't learn how to manage, we've got to manage us. We've got to learn how to manage our emotions. So, like we're saying, it has all of our emotions, every one of them, it has a root that has a trigger causing us to feel it. And then a thought happens and a response usually follows. If I were to ask you, what is the most common thought when you see something that brings up a bad thought from your childhood, that brings up a bad memory from your childhood? Many of us, we might say fear. Fear comes up when we think about that bad thing that happened. You know, we get afraid. Some of us may say nervous. You know, we get really kind of nervous. You know, we can't get ourselves together in that moment when that memory comes up. Now, think about this. Emotions have a root. The root is usually a memory of something. It can be something great, something wonderful, or it can be something hurtful, something that was traumatic. But emotions have a root and something triggers it. Think about songs that we hear. They trigger something. They trigger an emotion. Think about places we go, even smells. They trigger an emotion, and that emotion brings out a thought so that you can remember what that smell is connected to, or what that song is connected to, or what those words are connected to. So emotions come up. They're triggered by something. It brings a memory, and a thought comes with it, good, bad, or ugly. A thought comes with it. Now that we're sitting in this emotion, what do we do with it? That's where we've got to understand, what do we do with it now that we're sitting in it? What exactly do we do with it? Now, the stem, the root, the response, we know that it's coming up involuntarily. You can see somebody that looks like someone else, and immediately an emotion comes up based on the relationship you had with that person, based on how it ended, how things, grew, or if it grew, or what was said, or what was done. An emotion comes up. Emotions are involuntary. Emotional intelligence is our ability as people, as mothers, as fathers, to manage our feelings so that those feelings are expressed appropriately and effectively. And that's techtarget.com. Our ability, think about that now, it's our ability to manage what we feel. It's our ability to manage that overwhelming feeling. And that's what emotions are. They become overwhelming. However, we can manage the overwhelm. We don't need to continue to allow the overwhelm to manage us. And usually that's what we do. We allow that overwhelm to manage us. Think about this. When children act out, usually that is a way they're trying to communicate something. They're trying to let you know that either an emotion has come up or they don't feel safe, whether it's mentally safe or physically safe or what, they don't feel safe. They're trying to communicate something to us. In Maslow's hierarchy of learning, it says that needs have to be met for every human being. And if needs aren't met, then we act out in a certain way. Acting out is just a form of dysfunction. And all of us have it at certain times. We have a form of dysfunction because we don't know what to do with whatever's going on in that moment. In that moment, we don't know what to do, how to handle it. So we want to talk more about managing our overwhelm, managing the emotions. I know people like to say things like whatever comes up comes out. People love to say that. But whatever comes up doesn't have to come out. Whatever comes up does not have to come out, especially if it's going to hurt, harm, damage the spirit, the heart of our children. And we've kind of gotten in this mode that we'll hurt their feelings just because our feelings are hurt. No, we've got to learn to manage our feelings. If that means take a moment, walk away, pause, walk outside, get some fresh air. Give yourself a moment. If it's anger, remove yourself from the trigger, what's stimulating the anger. Remove yourself and give yourself a few minutes. If tears are welling up in your eyes, then say, I'll be right back. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Walk away. Get yourself together. You cannot control the emotion coming up, but you can control the response coming out. We've got to learn to control our response, especially dealing with our children or especially dealing with someone at work, dealing with someone that's our elder. I mean, we've got to learn how to respectfully control us so that our response is respectful also. When we say harsh things to our children, usually it's because they have triggered something. We say it like, oh, you've gotten on my last nerve. But they triggered something. We just don't understand they've triggered an emotion. Now, just because it's been triggered doesn't mean it has to fire. Come on now, somebody. Doesn't mean it has to fire. You are the one that controls what comes after the emotion has been triggered. We've got to learn how to manage our emotions so that we teach our children how to manage theirs. If we blow up with every emotion, every little thing, if we're wearing our feelings on our shoulders and it doesn't matter what you do or say, you look at me wrong and I'm going to blow up, don't you know we're teaching that to our children? It hadn't worked out well for us. Why would we want to share that with them? So let us learn how to manage our emotions. Take a moment. Take a moment. Walk away. Take some very deep breaths. We teach deep breathing um, by counting to 4 as you inhale, then holding your breath for 2 counts, then slowly releasing it for 7 counts. And if you need to repeat, then repeat. But we have to learn. This is the thing. The emotion comes up. We have to do what we need to do to redirect those thoughts that will come up with it. All right. So that we can calm back down. Because I constantly tell parents, you do not parent well from a space that has no calmness in it. You must first calm yourself down so that you can handle the situation in a calm manner. Emotions, we all have them. So I'm going to take a minute right now and talk about our sponsors. One of our sponsors is Emotions You Know. And Emotions You Know is a great game. It's a game that was created by a dear friend of mine. He is also my partner and mentor, Mr. Tremel Mitchell. So Emotions You Know is one of those games. I'm just going to hold up the box. It allows you to truly relax and be able to share your stories with your families. Parents can share stories one to another and with their children. It's a great way to allow your children to learn how to share stories with you because believe it or not, we have moved away from sharing our life stories, sharing things, our lived experiences. We need to get back to being able to just relax and share. Go to emotionsyouknow.com to get more information about the game. But this is a game for all families, for social workers, for counselors, for anybody working with a group of children and family members. Our other sponsor, of course, is Parenting911. And Parenting911, we help parents get empowered with parenting strategies, parenting skills. We make sure that parents understand how to structure their homes well with rules, routines, even with proper discipline, because most people don't know what that is anymore, and with knowing how to respectfully communicate with their children. Go to parenting911.org, set up a session with me. We do one-on-one coaching programs. We do group programs. We work with churches, with schools. We do workshops. We work with organizations, agencies, corporate groups as well. All right. Guess what? That's the end for today. Emotions are everywhere. Learning how to control them is the issue. I want to close with this true story conversation. A police officer and the police chief having a conversation about things going on in our world. And we all came to an understanding that most of what's happening stems from emotions out of control. emotions out of control, children killing their parents, or the school shootings, or just the random shootings into a group of people, emotions out of control, domestic violence growing rapidly, emotions out of control, even the suicide rate, especially with young black boys, emotions out of control. Maybe something that's been said will help save somebody's life. Maybe something that's been said on this podcast today will help save somebody's family, will help families bond back together, will help grandparents have a better and closer relationship with grandchildren. Don't allow your emotions to get out of control or remain out of control. That's on us. We have to learn how to manage our emotions. I look to see you on the very next episode. All right. Thank you for joining Parenting 911 Lived Experience Podcast.